Good morning. I am in paradise on Vancouver Island. I've just come here for, I think, my second sunrise only in my new home. And so far, I've been just delighted by the wildlife. 3 otters just came jumping right here on these rocks, and the one didn't see me and got spooked and made a big splash. And then a couple seconds later, a seal there's been like 6 of them just kind of around, but the one didn't notice I was sitting here on this tree, and it got really spooked and made a big splash. And I've just been thinking about my life and this big move that I've made to a new province and how I want to express myself. For a long time, I've been making videos and sharing them on the internet and talking about marketing and branding. And so I'm thinking of rebranding, but as I talk to my partner about it, it's like, it's always a rebranding. It's always a rebirth. It's always a transformation. And there's been this like core thread through everything that I've been sharing, which is really just about sharing the human journey and this evolution and transformation, and how does that work in the online business space. And I've been talking about how I see it changing, and I feel I'm being the change. And really, it's just, I've been taking the time to move slow and feel what reality feels like at another level of being, at a higher frequency. And I speak a lot about the gene keys. I do contemplations every 6 days. The sun moves through a different theme. There's 64 gene keys, which relates to the 64 hexagrams in the I Ching. Or if you're familiar with human design, there's the 64 gates, and there's 64 codons in our DNA. And so this is the language of our DNA and how we are activated by our environment around us, including the cosmos, and how that impacts our energy on the planet. And there's, through the gene key lens, there's 3 sort of different frequency bands, or there's the shadow level, the gift level, and the acidic level. And I thought I'd just take the moment this beautiful morning to talk about these different levels and a bit about the gene keys for anybody who might be new to my world and want to connect. I'm all about connection with ourselves first, and then connecting with community in this new world that we call living on Earth. And I've made videos, and you can, look up the 2027 sort of prophecy, if you want to call it that, relative to 2027 and the changes that are occurring, the themes, the underlying themes that have been playing out for the last 400 years is what has been called the cross of planning. And that has built up a lot of our systems and structures and our economy, and all of that is changing to something so different. It's called the cross of the sleeping phoenix, and all of the themes are changing quite drastically. So the world is going through rapid change. We can all feel that. And so there's also this beautiful potential to live at higher frequency levels with our gifts, as they're referred to in the gene keys, or even the cities. Some of us, many more people are experiencing acidic levels, or at least beginning to touch an understanding of what that life might be like, which is basically this understanding, this involution that is leading to the evolution, going not separate from one another. And it is truly this idea of union, to yoke in yoga, to become one, to understand our unity, and that we're not separate from anyone or anything. And that love is all there is. It's the core of what is. and fear is an illusion. At the shadow level, we really get triggered by fears, and we get hooked in to fears, and we live our life and take action based off of those fears of not being enough, of not having enough, scarcity, lack, control, manipulation. And then at the gift level, we start to realize the power that we have inside of ourselves to affect change by simply healing inside of ourselves. And so in branding and in marketing, at the shadow level, we will use tactics to manipulate, control, power over, just focus on the numbers. And we'll brand, and we will even create businesses from an inauthentic place. And so rebranding, of course, is necessary when we raise our frequency levels. And I think more and more people are raising their frequency and even realizing that what used to work in the old world or at the shadow level is working less and less and less, because more people are waking up and claiming their power and no longer buying into those kinds of tactics. So my prediction is that we're going to see many, many, many rebrands. And for me, rebranding is an everyday kind of thing. But I think that so long as we're at least having the intention to be aligned on our unique path and not feeling like we have to fit in to anybody else's path, there'll be a thread that is pulling us along our journey, and really our core stability. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful view. I know I am. I feel so grateful and blessed to be steps away from this space. And I look forward to sharing with you more. I love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next video.